Okay. I have no idea how this works at all. I don't know. It's definitely give me like a whole filter though. Like real talk. Your girl doesn't wear makeup, and I'm pretty sure I need to like exfoliate. Okay. Is it still recording? Oh wow. So I had a whole phone call and it's still. Oh, YouTube's pretty cool. I guess I didn't know that that was a thing. What's this? Oh, that's cool. I like that. Anyways, okay. Let me stop being distracted and actually speak words to you guys because this is my first video and I'm still playing with all the filters. But okay, so a little bit about me. I really like this. I don't know. I don't know why, but I'm full with this one. We'll do this one for a little bit. I like what it does to my picture. So a little bit about me. Um, I like creating, and I like it when other people create stuff. Like people are real life crazy talented. Like I thought I was an artist. I am. I still am an artist. I just don't know a lot of different forms. I don't know many techniques or what you're doing in that moment, not to say your next move. You never really should say, oh, what's my next move? It's what am I doing right now in this present moment? Because if you're not presently moving, you can't be moving later. You know what I mean? Because if you're still right now, you're going to be still in a little bit because you'll just be getting going. Like, you don't want to just be getting going in your next moment. You want to already be in your next moment moving. So you can't move in your next moment if you're currently sitting still in your present. So, yeah. But, anyways, what I was trying to tell you guys before I went onto my rampage is that I love to talk. I love to just share who I am, what I've learned, anything like that. Like, or my just opinions, my whatever, like whatever's rambling around inside of all of this, I just like to throw it out there. Yeah. Like so. So I believe strongly in all forms of expression. I believe that, people, we do these different hobbies, we do whatever, like we talk, we do what, like all of these different things, like between like sports and fitness and baking and cooking and um, dance and theater and art, drawing, painting, sculpting, wood carving, between like interpretive dance and just, all sorts of things, writing words, poems, quotes, raps, just freehand writing, just, whatever, like people who sing and freestyle and rap and who do acting and just all of these different things that allow us that mental freedom, that physical freedom, that emotional freedom. I think people who are just supportive roles to other people, who are like healers and guides and supportive listeners, a good ear, a nice strong shoulder to lean on, like all of those things that allow anyone to further express themselves and discover themselves and find out. My mantra is find out who you are, what you are, and why you are. And I feel like anything that allows you to do that and it allows you to grow and to develop and to just free yourself, then I believe in that strongly. I believe all things around us are art. I think everything has its own meaning. I feel like everything is beautiful in its own way. I feel like everything has a divine purpose because if it didn't have a purpose, then it would not exist. Just like there's a circle of life and there's a balance to life within the animal kingdom in the realm of like how they say, oh, if this bug, this tiny little insect did not exist, then all of this would die and this one thing would go wrong and all of this other stuff. That all of that affects us. We are a part of that system. We are a part of that ecosystem. We are a part of this life system. We are all connected. All things are connected. Everything, every person, every whatever, every moment, every life lesson has a purpose. It might not serve us the way that we initially wanted to, but in the end, it all connects. It all has meaning. Do we know what it is? No. Do we need to know? No, because we're not worrying about then. We are worrying about right now. Because without right now, there is no then. There is no that. There is no nothing. There is nothing. There is no past. There is no present. There is no. Oh, there's not a now either. But like how they talk about lights traveling and how when we see a star or whatever that like that's the light, that's that planet or star or whatever they call it. I'm not a scientist. That thing doesn't even exist anymore. Like it's gone, but it's still here. Do you know what I mean? Like it's gone, but it's now. How so? Because there is no sense of time. There is no sense of anything. That's why I like when people say, oh, time flew or oh, whatever. It's because, we get so caught up in what's happening tomorrow, what's happening next week. Oh, that future birthday, that deadline, this. We let all of those things consume our right now. That time slips away from us. It's stolen from us. It is taken away from us. And we have no time to diddle daddle. We have no time to sit here and let those things stress us out and weigh us down. I do not believe in that at all. I feel like we need to just accept it. Just accept whatever, Like we look around us and it's on purpose. Like even the people who we think have it all together, when you hear about these celebrities or billionaires and stuff, and then just something about somebody somewhere, regardless on how much free time they have, regardless on how much money they have, or people idolizing them, or friends or family or whatever, there is someone out there who is still struggling with something. And it might not be externally struggling, but they're struggling with something internally. There are some people who say, oh, they've met a homeless person, but they were the happiest person that they've ever met. And it's because it's not something that is external. It's something that is within us. That sense of self, that sense of acceptance, that sense of not having to be in control. And it's that element of those expectations that we place on ourselves or those around us, our loved ones, that cause friction and cause that resistance, that turmoil, that agony, that contrast, that contradiction or whatever. It's like those expectations in general are what cause us suffering. It causes us pain. It's expectations. It's I just had a whole brain fart. I was speaking words to you guys. But whatever, we'll figure it out along the way. Just remember expectations. All right, moving on. So it's these people who have just they've lost it all. It's people who have lost it all, and they have that sense of appreciation and acceptance. So it's when we have those expectations, those like desires. When we have desires, there's nothing wrong with desiring something, but you also have to remember what it's like to when you're fully in acceptance of what you have and where you're at, that level of bliss and satisfaction. um I've recently had to get rid of so many of my possessions, and I have never felt better. I feel like we put so much value into things, temporary situations, and we value trying to hold on. We hold on to something that we find beautiful or something that makes us happy. And we hold on to it and we squeeze it. We squeeze it for everything that it's worth. And because we're afraid that if we let that thing go, that something just as wonderful won't come to us. So over time, I've learned that to fully be okay, to fully be in acceptance, to fully be in the now, You have to let let anything and anyone have the freedom to come and go as it pleases, because there's not a flow if you're holding on. The river can't flow if it's dammed up. Um, Things can't come back to you full circle if the circle's cut off, if it's not, if people aren't allowing it. And that's why I believe that there's so much chaos and so much like just trouble and trials and tribulations around, because there's not that sense of pass it on, like that thing that they're talking about now, pass it on. A lot of people aren't in unison. We're not synced. There's a great divide between everyone. We can talk the world, for example, how they've divided all of us, countries, people. Like, we're all connected. And I don't want to sound like a hippie or whatever, but I will, for the sake of an argument. We're all divided by cultures. We're divided by language. You know, while we're younger, we could all learn these different languages. We could. But they choose to keep us all divided by our tongues. So our minds are limited. We don't have that mental freedom, that language barrier. Things don't translate. So with that lack of knowledge and understanding comes fear. So with fear being in place, that allows the division to remain. So it's our expectations and our fears that limit us in life. They keep us divided culturally, language barriers. They keep us divided financially. They keep us divided with our races, cultures, whatever. Skin colors. It's not even about, some people who have a certain tone can fit in a certain area, and no one really knows, what they are or whatever. Like, some people don't question stuff because if you look like you fit in, you look like you belong, you sound like you belong, then people automatically assume that you do belong. So it's just those different forms of division. They divide us by our genders. They divide us by our religion and our beliefs. They divide us by our intellect, and they divide us by our credit score, our social history, our different everything. They highlight all of our differences instead of highlighting all of our similarities. The division is in place on purpose. So, don't even know how I got into that, but this is what I do. I want you to be like, there's nothing wrong with you. There's zero wrong with you. We're all unique. We're all different. I'm going to change the filter now. I've been wanting to switch it to this one. Bam! You can color me in. But I just feel like we all have the right to express ourselves, to be ourselves. They divide us by our mental, like they try to say people have like these mental disorders. They divide us by our health, our age differences. There's just a division for everything. There's all these different things that divide us. And I am going to change it. So, you've seen me. Let's add some color. I need chapstick. No. I like this one. Okay. So, you have gotten to know me. So, but I can tell you more about me. I like to draw. I like to paint. I like to color. I like to glue. I like to cut out stuff. Like scrapbooking used to be my thing. I love that. I love to take pictures, not of myself, like of anything else. I love nature. I love seeing new sights. I want to travel the world one day. So the first step is to get my passport. Your girl doesn't have her passport. I've been working this new job, which has been kicking my butt. But I am working out and I am going to lose this weight that I wanted to lose anyway. So this job keeps me on my feet. It keeps me moving. And you know what? I like it for that. I like it because it also pays me. It could pay me more. I'll have to work on that. They'll have to work on that. We'll see what happens. But you know, I want to get this passport. I want to travel. I want to see bubbles. I want to see different sights. I love all forms of water. So I love like the ocean. I love lakes and waterfalls are beautiful. Waterfalls are life. I love waterfalls. Um, I love sands, just like the beaches and everything. I like viewpoints. I used is that a booger? I think that was a booger, y'all. That's pretty gross. So yeah, no, I used to be afraid of heights. I don't know if I can technically say I'm afraid of heights anymore because your girl real life loves to fly. I flew in an airplane. It was for one trip, right? But it was a layover. Getting phone calls. I'll have to call my cousin back. But so I flew. All right, so it was a layover, right? So I flew once, stopped, got onto another plane twice, right? So I flew to California because that's where I went. Your girl was on divorce court, y'all. We'll get into that later. So I flew twice, right? And then on the way back, I flew, and then I had to do a layover, and I flew again. So your girl got on the plane 4 times, and I loved it. I love to fly. I do. If I could fly everywhere, I would. Your girl would. You know, I don't have to deal with cars and stuff. But I real life love road trips too. So that's another thing that I want to do. I want to go on a road trip before I leave the United States. Well, I don't care. I don't care what order it happens in, but I want to travel out the United States, but I also want to travel and do like a road trip in the United States. Loving that idea. So I want to do that and I want to create more. I want to just I don't want to just create. I want to allow other people to create. Like I like working with kids and stuff, but I don't like forcing kids to do stuff that they don't want to do. Like they are kids. Let them kids be kids. Like let a kid have fun. Give them the freedom and the space and all the supplies that they need to do what they want to do because I feel like you know how they say play and stuff is a form of development and a learning. Well, I also feel like you shouldn't just have a kid just play like with some random ordinary stuff. No. You give that kid a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of safe stuff. Like if a kid thinks he likes science, then you know what? Get them a bunch of fancy stuff, and you get the bestest scientists. I'm gonna talk all sorts of jacked up English because I like to. Get a bunch of scientific people, and you get them with those group of kids, and it doesn't have to be. I love it. Okay. I love how they have these fancy schools, but I hate how they're fancy priced and how all kids don't get exposed to stuff. I feel like the more kids that get exposed to all sorts of different positive things, then the more stuff that they get to develop inside here, the more places that these kids get to go and see and learn and do all of this stuff. Do you know how much better this world could be? Because the sooner you let these young minds explore these different things, kids have a way higher sense of sense, a higher sense of everything. Kids see and hear everything. They absorb everything. They have imaginations that are free and are way more open and not not dumbed down by, they're not brainwashed people. Like they're not, we've been exposed to so many different negative elements in life that we are now fighting to resist and push off of us. These young minds, if they're not exposed to all of that shit, yeah, I said it, then they get to just flourish and just grow and then ping, 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 all these different things beautiful things could happen. Like, I think children are the future, and I take that expression to heart. That's why, if y'all get to find out more about my personal life, like, there's a lot of things that have been weighing me down, and I refuse to let it. I refuse to let my past decisions dictate my beliefs and the things that I want for my future. I have children. I don't want my children, their future, to be dictated by the divorce that me and their father are going through. I don't want them to be limited and by any of that mess. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into that later. But anyways, um I'm going to be posting videos. I'm going to be talking about my life. I'm going to be talking about other people's lives, not like, personally, like, oh, Susan. No. No, I'm not going to talk about you, Susan. I'm going to talk about your life in general as whatever, like, and if there's a question asked to me, I will openly answer the question, and I don't have to include the person's name. But I'm just going to basically do this because it's for myself to look back at, because I'm also on this weight loss journey, you guys. I want a new me for me. It's not for anybody else. It's for myself. You know what? If it is for anybody else, it's going to be for my children. Shh, don't tell them though. But I just want to just stop being afraid. I have always been weird. I have always been awkward or unique or whatever. Like, unique is a new word to me. I've just started using that word. But my whole life, my cousin tells me, she's like, girl, you were before the times. Like, I used to wear spandex leotard, ballerina looking outfits all the time before everybody started wearing them. Girl, I was all natural hair, curly afro. People made fun of me and my curly hair because nobody knew how to do my hair because I was biracial and people didn't know. My parents didn't know how to do that. My mom used to work a lot, and then it was my dad that was left at home having to do my hair. And you know what? Your girl went to school with an afro. And now it's cool. Like, cool. It's cool to wear an afro now. But it should always been cool. Because how about how people come is how they come to school. How people live their life is how they live their life. I hate how people put all these limitations on people and all these rules and how we turn up our noses. Like, I like it when I see a person wearing some stuff that they decided to put together. I like it when a person can go to a thrift store and buy 5 different things and put that thing together and make it look like something fancy and luxurious, because you know what? It doesn't matter. It's your sense of yourself. It's your sense of what you think is important. It's your sense of wealth. It's your sense of self. It's your sense of whatever you want it to be. Okay? Bottom line. And that's what my channel is going to be about. Me ranting and raving and talking to random people as I walk by, because I like to go random places and I like to talk to random people. But what I also learned is that you can't be too friendly with everybody, because some guys, this is for you gentlemen, some guys think it's okay to talk, like sideways to a woman. Like, we don't have to hear, I don't want to hear about my lips. I have had my lips my whole life. Don't talk to me about them, okay? Or my chest, okay? So you know what? I don't have to wear a turtleneck. No, I don't. I don't have to wear a face mask. No, I don't. If I choose to wear one, I choose to wear one. If I choose to do this, I choose to do that. People have the right to choose. Sound like I'm running for president. People have the right to choose, all right? This is my campaign, and it has been approved by this blah, 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 blah. Okay? Yes. So anyways, it's my first video. I hope you've learned a lot about me, and I hope I actually get a viewer one day. If not, it's for me.